Hello everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're going to be making these delicious bollies made with mango and chamoy. This is the perfect summertime treat for young and old. So if you love mangoes the way I do, stick around and continue watching this video because you're absolutely going to love this recipe. We're going to start out by dicing our mangoes. Before you begin to dice them, make sure they're nice and clean. These I purchased a couple days ago and they've been sitting on my counter for a few days now. So now they're perfectly ripe. We're going to start out by trimming one end of the mango. We're going to cut as close as we can to the bone. There's the bone right there. Now we're going to cut the other end. We have both ends trimmed. We're going to cut them lengthways and then across. It doesn't have to be really small, just enough so we can flip it inside out and trim off the pulp. And I'm going to do it directly into the bowl because these are super juicy. If we do it on the cutting board, it's going to make a big mess. And this way, when we're done, we can just transfer it directly into the blender. Trim off the pulp as close as you can to the skin. Just make sure not to cut in too deep because you don't want to cut your hands. Once we're done with both ends, we're going to trim off the middle section of the mango. Trim off the remainder of the pulp from the bone. And as you're doing so, you also want to taste the mango. The sweetness of the mango is going to determine how much sugar to add. In this case, the mango is super sweet, so we're not going to add any additional sugar or sweetener. Once you're done trimming off the pulp, you can discard of the bone or you can dry it. Once it's completely dry, break it open and there's a little seed inside that you can plant and grow your own mango tree. I have 2 growing in my backyard right now. With the 5 mangoes, we got 5 to 6 cups of mango pulp. We're going to set it aside while we dice the 6th mango. We're going to dice it the same way as we did the other ones, the 2 sides, and then we're going to peel off the skin from the middle section of the mango. The 2 halves, we're going to dice them the same way, but these are going to be a lot smaller, a lot finer cuts. Just be very careful when you're cutting it and not go through the skin because you don't want to cut yourself. And this is what it should look like. These are all very tiny pieces. Now using our knife, we're just going to trim it off. I'm going to do 1 layer and then I'm going to go back and do the 2nd layer. Now these have to be very small because these are going to be going into the mango mixture once we blend it. So when we add it to the bollies, you're going to enjoy little chunks of mango in the bollies. Now that we have our mango minced and cut, we're going to transfer the mango pulp to the blender. Also going to add 1 cup of water to help blend the ingredients. Blend on high for a good 30 seconds to a minute. Transfer it to a bowl with a spout similar to this one, so it's easier to transfer to the bags when we're ready to fill them. Add the pulp. Now we're going to add the minced mango pulp. We're going to give it a good mix to get the mango and the pulp well combined. And if it's too thick, you can adjust the thickness by adding a little bit more water. And at this point, you can also taste it to see if it's at the level of sweetness that you prefer. If you need to adjust the sweetness, you can add a sweetener of your choice or sugar. I love to prepare this recipe, especially in the summertime, because that's when the mangoes are the sweetest and you don't need to add any additional sugar. Now that the mixture is ready, we can begin to prepare the bollies. I'm going to be using these 8x24 bags. These you can purchase on eBay or Amazon. We're also going to need chilito. This is a mixture of lemon, salt, sugar, and chili powder. This one I purchased at a Mexican candy store, but you can also purchase it at your local grocery store in the candy aisle or any stores that cater to Mexican food. And you can also purchase it on Amazon and eBay. We're also going to be using chamoy. Chamoy is a condiment used for fresh fruit. It's made out of fruits like apricot, mango, plums, chilies, and lime juice. I'm going to be using this brand, but you can use whichever brand you prefer. We're going to take one of the bags and prop it open. We're going to fold over the sides like this. This makes it easier to hold the bag open while we're pouring in the mixture. Once we have it propped open, we're going to pour in a little bit of the mango mixture. We're going to add just a little bit, enough to cover about 1 inch on the bottom. That looks more like 1/2 inch, but you can add 1/2 inch to 1 inch. Now I'm gonna add about a teaspoon of the chili powder. I'm gonna get it in there to cover the top layer of the mango. Now we're gonna add a splash of the chamoy. The amount of chamoy or chili powder you add could be different. You can add more or less depending on how you like them. Now we're gonna pour the remainder of the mango mixture, and you can see the big chunks of mango going in there. These are gonna be so delicious. Now we're gonna squeeze out some of the air from the bag. Right there is perfect. And now we're just gonna give it a good twist. We're gonna tie it, and we're gonna set it aside. See that nice design that it has? Make sure it's nice and tight so the mango mixture doesn't move around and mess up the design. We're gonna set it aside, and we're gonna do one more for demonstration. Now this one I'm gonna fold it over a little bit more so it doesn't get all over the bag. I'm gonna fold it halfway like this. See how this one goes. Now we're gonna pour a little bit of the mango mixture like we did the other one. Look at all those chunks of mango. That should be good right there. Another teaspoon of the chili powder, maybe a little bit more. Chamoy. Now we're gonna add the remainder of the mango mixture. There we go. I only fill up the bags halfway, but you can make them as big or as small as you want. I find that halfway is the perfect size for the kids to enjoy a nice treat. And now I'm gonna unfold the top. And I think it worked out better this way because it's not as messy as the first one. So now we're just gonna squeeze out the air, give it a good twist, and tie it. We're gonna continue with the rest of them until we're all done. With the 6 mangoes we used, we made a total of 11 bollies. Some might be a little bit bigger than others, but they all have their own unique design. Now we're just gonna trim off the excess plastic on each bag, and we're gonna freeze them for about 6 to 8 hours or overnight. We froze our bollies overnight, and this is the end result. I only have 9 now because I think the kids got to them before I could take my final video, but that's okay. They're already enjoying them, and I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. And if you're new to this channel, stick around and hit that subscribe button so you can see more videos like this. Share with your friends and family. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much, and I'll see you on a different day with a different recipe. Thank you so much for watching.